If we all were gay, who would make the best couple?
Me and Nick. I feel like we just like.
What are you doing tonight?
Okay, not that this is like a place where only gay people hang out, but like if we were in a Starbucks sitting on the same side of the booth, you're telling me you wouldn't walk in and go,
Oh, me and him have known each other longer.
that's true.
Yeah.
We got chemistry.
Show me.
We French kissed once.
Show me you have chemistry.
You're like, dude, I is nothing.
It's like, yeah.
I gave him the old reach around.
It's like, guys, might need to, excuse me.
Hold open.
Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for jerking off to my friends on a podcast?
Why do you think I choose to edit? Welcome back to Are You the Asshole? My name's Josh. Alongside me, co-host Nick and Jordan. And got a bit of a confession time before we get into today's episode. We did an episode a couple weeks ago where Nick couldn't be here, so me and Jordan did one. And I took Nick's name out of the credits because, I was like, oh, for continuity, whatnot. And when he came back, I went to put his name back in the credits, and a slight misspelling error. To which, if you watch episode, I believe it's 7 and the Halloween special, or 8 and the Halloween special, you can find Are You the Asshole? Starring Jordan Johnson, Nuck Landrum, and Joshua Breeden. To my own hubris.
Nuck.
Because the way I edit these is I always cut everything together. Like the actual final time and the camera switches. And then I add in the intro, the cold open, our names, the graphic that says asshole, not the asshole. So... nice to know.
Knuckles.
Yep, I'm a knucklehead. I ran my love on the
What are you doing, man?
outside of my shirt today.
I apologize to the headphone users.
Yeah, sorry guys, being a little bit of a
I don't.
It's not the first time you've done that.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
No problem, Nuck.
I'm so happy that went under the radar. You'll watch it back.
Yeah, no, I heard you.
Oh. So my story today.
Didn't even see it.
Huh?
You'll watch it back.
Am I the asshole for gaming for 3 days straight, but not letting my husband do the same? So, and fun fact, if you keep up with the Horizon student podcast, we just talked about gaming. So the irony that this relates.
He's on topic.
So I, 31 female, and my husband, who we'll call Jay, 32, we've been married for 7 years and have 2 kids, a 5-year-old daughter and a 1-year-old son. Jay and I are both big gamers. We also both have good jobs and get decent fun money each month. I usually split my fun money between the multiple hobbies I have, but Jay spends most of his on games. He typically buys every game that interests him on release day and loves collecting trophies. I, however, tend to play the same few games over and over again, and I do play a new game. I'll pick and choose which new game I'm most interested in for that year and usually wait for it to go on sale. My favorite game of all time is the Spider-Man games for PlayStation.
Yeah.
They are so good. It came out a couple of weeks after I had my daughter, and I became obsessed while I was on maternity leave. I played the games for hundreds of hours and replayed the story at least 8 times.
Same.
As I'm sure many of you know, Spider-Man 2 came out a little over a month ago. This story is old. I've been waiting for a very long time and was super excited to play the game when it was released. A month before, I told Jay that I'd like to take Friday through Sunday completely off so I can hopefully 100% the game that very weekend, to which he agreed. I asked off work and made arrangements for the weekend, buying pre-made dinner so I wouldn't have to cook, asking my mom to watch the kids on Saturday so at least he had the day off from watching them. The game release weekend was phenomenal. He took care of 90% of the kids' needs, and I was able to platinum the game that Sunday afternoon. Last weekend, he mentioned offhand how I would be parenting solo this weekend, and that he was looking forward to his time off while he plays the new Avatar game, which was terrible.
That's fair, though.
I asked what he meant, and he said that since I got 3 days off to play Spider-Man, he would get to do the same for his games going forward. I told him that is unfair. Jay was upset, and I asked him why he didn't bother to ask me if it was okay doing this, and he said he thought it was an obvious trade-off, that I got 3 days off for my releases, so he would too. I told him that it wasn't an obvious trade-off, and I'd be willing to do it a few times a year, but asking me to go multiple weekends a month without his help at all was too much. He was pissed and left to go cool off. I had to put the kids to bed. Since then, he's been shutting me out anytime gaming or the weekends even come up. And I don't know if I'm being unfair by refusing to parent alone whether a new game he wants to play comes out. And there's an edit, and I'll paraphrase it. She's basically saying, you can do it like once a year like I was asking, but
Yeah.
you buy a new game twice a week. I'm not going to do it half a month. So
Right.
that's why she was clarifying.
Okay.
So is she the asshole?
I mean, that literally what she just said was my thought exactly.
Yeah. After clarification, no.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's.
But also, that's an insane. Like, I've had like during COVID, like that's all I did.
Yeah.
Just video games and go to the gym.
I got into Spider-Man 2 when it came out.
But I couldn't play it for 3 days straight.
no.
Breaks.
I'd feel disgusting. I'll be honest. I'd just feel sweaty and gross.
That's the last. I would say I beat Spider-Man 2 because it was a weekend release, so I did get a lot of, and I have weekends off of work, so I did like a pretty good chunk of it. But like I used to do that all the time as a kid because you have free time.
Yeah.
Well, and
and
I
it's
feel like
different
it's
as a
different.
kid.
Yeah.
Well, what I was gonna say was like nowadays I'm going through all the Final Fantasy games, which the old ones you can beat it in a day or two nonstop, and I'm like, I never play these games. I want to enjoy these things. I can stretch it out for a week. I will. Like.
Yeah.
That's how I used to play Call of Duty. It was like,
Literally.
okay, maybe you get 2 missions in before bed, and then it's like, all right, I'm excited to play it tomorrow.
Yes.
And then it lasts weeks. Maybe that's the problem boyfriend or husband is having. Like, he just plays them too quickly.
Fair.
I'm telling you, that's on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The few comments. So the comments were kind of divisive. So this person said, am I reading what everyone else here is? He games much more than you do and wants weekends off for all of his new releases. You get maybe once a year. Clearly not the asshole. Your intent was a one-time indulgence. That didn't mean you were going to take off half a month for the rest of your life like he's planning to do. So Reddit deemed not the asshole.
Well, judging by the comment, I would have assumed it was swung the other way. And that's where I was at first. Because, like,
sure.
there was the whole perspective change of, like, you can't do that, but I can.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, hang on. He's playing 2 games a week, not looking forward to 1 a year.
Yeah.
Like I thought about like stuff like, because I'm a big gamer and my girlfriend is absolutely not in any shape, way, or form.
Yeah.
And I thought of like, I don't think like, you think future with kids, I don't think I could, from a conscious standpoint, be like, yep, you got it this weekend, go down to the basement and play.
Yeah.
Like I truly like, as much as like, if Spider-Man 3 comes out in 5 years and this is what happens in my life, and I love these games, even then, I don't think I could do that.
No, because parenting is, I mean, to a certain extent, I feel like you have to be very selfless when you're a parent.
Absolutely.
Like you are solely responsible for someone else.
Your life's not about you anymore.
Someone's life depends on you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
yeah.
And depending on how old the kids were, I have really young parents. So, like, I have memories of my 18-year-old dad holding me in my lap,
Right.
playing video games.
For
Like,
sure.
he was playing video games. So, like, I remember that stuff. So, depending on how old your children are,
Right.
Yeah.
you can do it together, especially something like Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
That's why like I still like guilty pleasure like Spyro games and stuff. Like I still love those
Yeah.
games. So I'm like those are like, yeah, don't play Call of Duty in front of your 1-year-old, but like you can find stuff.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, just, wait till they're older. Like,
Right.
72 hours is crazy.
that is crazy. But when Battlefield 2042 came out, my dad and I are huge Battlefield fans, so
Going crazy.
his man cave, and then my room was right there, and we just go ham,
That's fair, I guess. 72 hours. Here's
That's too
here's
long.
what got me feeling like, oh, that's kind of gross. Pre-made dinners so I don't have to cook.
It's a little unhealthy.
That's crazy. Just cramming pizza rolls 3 times a day for 3 days. Is
Yeah.
Like I get excited because I'm really, like I said, really huge into games. So I've done like Friday after work at 4. I'm like Dr. Pepper on the nightstand,
You're locked
blankets.
in.
Like there you go. But I do think there's like like I had a buddy, like he puts on like video game like soundtracks on the like to me I'm like that's a little bit much, but that's his thing. I'm not gonna yuck on it.
Right. If
Yeah.
I play longer than like 6 hours in a sitting,
Yeah, I hurt.
I feel gross.
Yes.
My eyes hurt. I need to I need to shower after playing a game.
Neck is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Need to go outside and like roll around in the grass.
Yeah. Touch something.
so verdict time. I'm gonna have to go not the asshole for.
I'm gonna go light, not asshole. Like I'm very close to asshole, just for the sake of the children.
Yeah, she didn't specify if she was like, oh no, you can do that like once a year.
Yeah.
I don't know if she was completely shutting him out, but I do think she's in the right that he can't
Yeah,
do
no.
that
We're
constantly.
super close to being everyone sucks.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what I'll
I
say.
think we're getting close, but yeah, with what Josh said, because it's an every week thing for him, I'm going not the asshole.
And that's what Reddit said.
It's fair.
All right, who's up?
You want
I can go.
You got it.
Woohoo!
And we're back. So, time for another story. Am I the asshole for changing my wife's book room into the kids' room?
Oh,
Now, as someone that can't read, you know, that doesn't really affect me that much, but
I am.
you know.
With your permission, I do want to make a Nick Freudian slip, like a reading mishap thing.
I, 35 male, have been married to my wife, 32 female, for 10 years. We have 2 kids, 4 and 7.
Okay.
About 5 years ago, our house was finally built. Ella, my wife, was the only one who actually designed our house. We have a loft area above our living room that she said was going to be a kids area. Out of sight, out of mind, she said, for the kids' toys. Very fair. When I was a kid, me and my sister, our shit was everywhere.
Yeah.
She also suffered from depression, and
Brutal.
a lot of the time, a lot of the household projects she hoped would be done by now aren't. Personally, I think she's too hard on herself, and I do help as much as I can, but I also work 60 to 70 hours a week.
Blue collar guy.
Ella has been using the loft as a reading area. Honestly, I'm not too sure how much she uses it. I know she read a bit, but mostly when I see her read, it's just in bed. Ella has been hard on herself lately because the kids' toys are scattered everywhere. So I decided, while she was out, to have the kids take everything up into the loft area and put all her stuff in her gaming room. We both have our own separate gaming rooms. It's kind of swag.
Must be a pretty big
That's a weird
house.
flex. Yeah.
Yeah. The kids love this area, and in the time they've been playing up there, I have seen no toys. Ella came home and started crying, saying that that was her safe haven area away from everyone, and has been really short with me. She claims that she goes up there every day, and now she can't just take it away from the kids. I told her she can make her gaming room into a reading room, but she states the kids go in there and it's not the same. I told her she was overreacting, and this is exactly what she wanted for the area. So, am I the asshole? There's a couple of edits.
You want us to give opinions first? Or you want to go ahead and read the edits?
What would you like to do?
So, and I don't know much about like depression because I've been lucky not really to experience it or have like family go through it. But in my mind, if you have someone who's going through a lot and building a home is one of the most stressful things you can do in this world.
Yeah.
And they have a safe space, and that's how they are dealing with that depression. And you take it away without asking, or like any kind of communication. You drew the line.
Yes.
That's where my head's at with this, because like there's so much. Like I do think like especially like how people talk. You can definitely say he comes from a place of like trying to help, but people are. You even if you've known someone married 10 years, you can still be tone deaf to situations. So people just jump the chance to be like,
Yeah.
she'll like this, I'll make the decision. It's like people can change in 10 years.
Yeah.
You never ask like this is like would consider myself pretty like extroverted, but growing up I needed that room, nobody, listening to music, whatever it was. So that kind of hits home, and I get
I
that.
mean, you nailed that with like having your own space. Like the only reason she designed the house, and she intended it for it to be for the kids.
Yeah.
So that's like, I don't know. I don't want to be the guy that's like, you did it to yourself. but you did say that was for the kids.
Yes.
Now, if the kids are coming into your gaming room, you're their mom.
Tell them to get out.
You have authority.
Yeah.
You can do that?
Respect my authority.
Right. I don't know.
No,
That one just seems like a genuine like plea. Like that's a sad story.
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
that guy. So what were the edits to it?
So, TLDR. Loft design house for the kids.
That is
Have
not TLDR.
an area in the
Really
loft.
short.
And then got then got made, then got mad. Apparently this guy didn't like using the reading area either. Made the area loft area.
Boom!
It's all those
sorry.
night shift hours.
70 hours is when the mind can't comprehend words anymore.
Edit number 1. I can't believe I have to say this, but obviously my wife is not neglecting our children by giving herself time to do her activities.
I'm glad he pointed
As
that
for our
out.
four-year-old, our neighbor watches him about 2 to 5 hours a day. We pay them so my wife can bake for her business and just do whatever she wants.
Gotcha.
Final edit. I hear you all. and honestly, I chose this story because almost every time that, spoiler alert, he was labeled as an asshole.
Gotcha. I figured.
Almost every time someone's labeled as an asshole, they almost never see the wrong.
They just think they're like, you think I'm a dick
Yeah.
for this?
Exactly. Their final edit is always like, man, screw you guys, I'm not
Yeah.
an ass.
Deleted account.
Yeah, I hear you all. I should have 100% communicated with her. I also found out she hasn't used her gaming room in months, so I took away her favorite spot of the house. So, we'll be
character
moving the
development.
kids' stuff into her old gaming room, and I will be making a shelf so she can organize all of her books up there. Right? Right?
That's what we
Wow.
like.
Yeah, so...
Not the asshole.
Yeah, after, the initial story, yes, but
UA.
with that final edit, redeemed asshole. That's
like
that's
that.
the tag I'm feeling, because he sucked.
he
At
was
the
in the
first
wrong.
bit.
UA.
He was a UA first.
UAG
He's working it
NA.
out.
UAGNA. You unintentional asshole, gone, not asshole.
Okay.
Myself right now is hating typing.
Josh
that
is
in.
like,
Editor
how do I
Josh is
fit
crying
this
in the
on?
chair.
Zoom. But I do. That may be the first story where someone who is the asshole was genuinely like, "My bad.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let me fix it."
Yeah.
That's the first productive Reddit post.
Yeah, and I was
is
like,
not a lot.
I was reading it today. I was like, wait a minute.
Why is this
There's
so
people
real?
on the internet that are self-aware.
Yeah.
What?
This is real.
Well, I'll give people who are the assholes credit. A lot of the time, they don't get advice. Some people are just like, "Yep, you're a dick. See ya." I'm like,
That is so true.
so I feel like I grant into comments.
YTA.
I think that because I feel like if you were gonna comment on that, at least I think what we do well is we're kind of like, you recognize
Yeah.
this is a safe place for someone who's dealing with something, man. You kind of drew the line. He's like, my bad. I'm glad you got that
Yeah.
solidarity.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Redeemed asshole.
Yeah, nice
I like
little
that one.
redeemable story.
Redeemed
So,
Asshole.
yeah, on to the next one.
job.
On to you, Mr. Jordan.
All right, so if you're watching this episode, quick reminder, link in the description to our own personal YouTube channel. This is really big for us, gives us a lot more creative freedom. Any behind the scenes extra content, I'm kind of working on some compilation stuff. Those will all be exclusive to the Are You the Asshole channel. And the big one, of course, you get early access to videos at noon Eastern Standard Time. They will go up on our channel. And if you're just more convenient going to the Horizon, you can still catch them at 5 o'clock. But if you kind of want to dig in, enjoy us at your lunch hour at work, perfect time to do it at noon. So anyway, back into the video.
Am I the asshole for refusing to attend my best friend's wedding after she replaced me as maid of honor because I'm too fat? Hang on, in parentheses, I'm pregnant. And asking her to pay me back for everything.
Yeah.
Okay, I was getting ready to say I know
Yeah.
someone within the last few months who got demoted from maid of honor. Not for those reasons, but oh my god.
Yeah. That's how I felt just reading the title. And I was like, I don't care what the rest of this story says.
He's in tears.
I'm
That's
running with it.
crazy.
I love your reaction. It was just, yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
breath.
You ready?
Sorry, yes,
I'm
sir.
shooken.
I, 27 female, have been best friends with Claire, don't know why that's in parentheses, 28 female since high school. When she asked me to be her maid of honor, I was thrilled and went all out to make her wedding special. I paid for the bridal shower, bachelorette party, a weekend trip, decorations, other expenses, spending several thousands of dollars. While it was a lot of money for my husband and me, I wanted to make her big day perfect because she's like family to me. 2 months ago, I shared I'm 4 months pregnant. Pregnant?
All right, Nick.
Pregnant.
Fernet.
Pregnant.
Am I 18 months pregnant?
Claire congratulated me. Did you say all right, Nick? Hang on.
Just register.
Claire congratulated me, but started acting distant afterwards. She excluded me from conversations about the wedding and made passive comments about how hard it is to coordinate when people are distracted. I brushed it off, thinking it was just wedding stress. A few days ago, she sat me down and told me she didn't want me in the wedding anymore. Her reason? I'm getting too fat. And she doesn't want me in the pictures.
That's messed up.
Why? Because you won't fit? I'm not. Sorry. Okay, my bad. That's not what I meant.
Based? Chad, is this based?
I thought that was. No, I was saying that. Hold up. Let me cook.
No,
for a
you
second.
were riffing. You were riffing.
Let me cook for a
Let
second.
me
I was saying that.
Women.
I thought that was gonna be a genuine like reason. Like, is she actually gonna say like you're not gonna fit in these photos? That's what I thought it was. That literally sounded like my bad. I'll take the L on this one.
Josh is like, here's what you guys need to know about women. No,
That is
kidding.
not. There was
Okay.
a fat groomsman. I would have said the same thing.
Yes, okay, so you're not wrong. And she doesn't want me in the pictures. She said she has a specific vision for her wedding, and I no longer fit it.
I was right.
But the way you said it
Oh,
was
it was horrible. Never mind. It was horrible.
crazy.
It was horrible. But
Okay, anyway.
ooh.
I was devastated. I asked if it was about my pregnancy, but she insisted it wasn't personal. She just said she was replacing me as maid of honor with another friend who fit her aesthetic.
Oh, that's rough.
I told her if I wasn't in the wedding, I wouldn't attend at all. I also handed her receipts for everything I paid for and told her she or her fiance needed to reimburse me since I'd only spent that money as her maid of honor. Claire flipped out, calling me selfish and accusing me of trying to ruin her wedding. She said it was tacky to ask me for the money back and that expenses like these were, quote unquote, my responsibility as maid of honor. I reminded her that she removed me from that role, so those expenses were no longer mine.
This is the
Mic drop. Screw yourself.
Since,
Dumbass.
since then, Claire...
You haven't said an F-bomb yet. You can go for it. I haven't said
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let the one rip per
No, that's
episode.
okay.
He's saving
read
it.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got 3 more paragraphs.
Okay, good.
Oh boy.
Since then, Claire, her fiance, and even her family have been spam calling me with text and phone calls. They're accusing me of being petty and overreacting because of pregnancy hormones.
Oh, that is rough.
Yeah. Yee.
They're also saying I should just let it go and write off the money because weddings are stressful and Claire didn't mean to hurt me.
How has she not punched anybody in this
Right.
story?
My husband has been incredibly supportive and says I did the right thing. He's furious about how Claire is treating me and agrees that I shouldn't be out thousands of dollars for a wedding I'm not a part of.
Exactly.
I feel heartbroken and humiliated by someone I thought was my best friend. Keep that in mind. They were best friends.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
And she went from maid of honor to not even in the party, and she's not going.
Good.
Still, the constant backlash has made me second guess myself. Am I the asshole for standing up for myself and asking for reimbursement? Should I just have quietly stepped aside?
No, absolutely not. Yeah. Vile human being, Claire. You.
There it
Yes!
is. Well, here's what drives me crazy. Like people will come up with the dumbest excuses. Literally, like I said, I knew somebody who got demoted from maid of honor to a bridesmaid, and the reasoning behind it, and this isn't like anything like bad, like I'm free to say this, but the reason was because she commented on how the bride drove. Like she was like, I feel like you cut those corners too fast, and then she's like, all right, we're not the like people will come up with
Whoa.
the crazy, and I feel like there was like something like, oh, you buy my food too much. Like, you offer to pay at a restaurant. I'm like, because she's a decent human being.
Yeah,
like,
sorry, they're nice.
yeah, I'm like, people will come up with the craziest shit, especially when you throw thousands of dollars in the mix. Like, obviously she's not the asshole, but this, in terms of like delusional, like the evil people in these stories, that ranks up there for me.
Yeah, Claire is an L.
Claire is an asshole poo mode.
Okay, so that's funny you say that. This is the first time I've ever seen this rating, which is why I picked this.
Okay.
Not the asshole, poo mode.
So maybe it's some.
Like, you're like really, really not the asshole.
I
Yeah.
think.
But it was like, I've seen other stories like that.
But
Where
maybe
like,
it's designating two people. Like Claire
It's
is
true.
poo mode because, I mean, well, and I think the thing that really frustrated me the most is when she selfishly took her out of her wedding pictures and was like, you doing all this is you being selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just gaslighting the shit out of her.
Like, on one hand, you have to understand, like, weddings are stressful, especially when it's yours. But it doesn't give you free reign to just, like, treat everyone like trash.
Yeah, and like it's not like she got pregnant to deliberately ruin your wedding photo. She's like, let me look at the calendar. When are these wedding
Right.
photos? I'm gonna get pregnant.
I need to
on
be 8
this
months
day.
pregnant. I feel like what to me is the craziest thing is she's pregnant. Maid of honors do have a lot of responsibilities. People who didn't go to a wedding, they do have a lot of responsibilities. So you're putting stress on a pregnant woman, which then out of itself is bad.
Yeah.
Which I know you could argue like, well, she agreed to be maid of honor. But like now you're saying you're out of money, you're not in it. I'm like, that's, from a health standpoint, that's like a shitty thing to do and that's dangerous.
I feel like the way she's handling it as a pregnant woman is way, like, if I were pregnant, I would be handling it times 10
I would
more
have punched you in the
aggressive.
throat.
Oh yeah.
Like, you're doing the Lord's work right now.
They're
Just
good.
being a decent human being still.
If it's some like really religious woman, like that God tells me not to punch you, but if he wasn't here, I'd break your teeth.
Right.
Right.
I break your nose.
Literally.
Give you a nuck old sandwich. Thank you.
Well,
Careful.
yeah.
A
What did I say?
A Nux knuckle sandwich.
What did I say in
There
like
you go.
episode 6? Or it was like Shabinga or something.
Yeah, you were. It was.
Snarking or something.
It was
like that.
what I can't remember. The context was they misspelled a pastry and you were trying to pronounce
Snakinga.
it. Snakinga. And you're like, it sounds like a spell, or I'm saying a slur.
You're gonna get snacked in the mouth.
And like you looked it up and you're like, it's a fishing hook or something.
Yeah.
It made no sense whatsoever.
Oh man. Well, it's gonna do it. That one had 8. I didn't look at any of them. I screenshot my stories.
Same.
It had 800 comments and 10,000 upvotes.
Wow.
Damn.
So that was a popular story, and it was from 20 hours ago as of last night.
Yes.
So it's fresh.
It is fresh.
That may be the first time where across all of our stories, we all went not the asshole, right?
Mine was asshole.
Which one was yours?
What, remind us again?
The husband that
Well,
took
here,
away
Redeemed.
space.
He was redeemed.
Yeah, he did redeem himself.
I feel like this is the closest we're gonna get to
Yeah.
everyone not the asshole.
Yes. Okay, that is fair. That is fair.
That's a
He's
milestone.
redeemed.
He's redeemed.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's gonna wrap us up for this week's episode. Asshole of the week.
I gotta go with your story.
Yeah.
I
I mean, it's just
it's got
it's just obvious.
it's got I'm talking like it's a novel. It's got a likable main character, an evil villain, and a conflict. Claire's a villain.
Yeah, Claire's a villain. I love that her name's in parentheses.
Claire.
Claire.
I think it's saying like
her name isn't Claire.
It is.
Yeah.
But
Stephanie.
they didn't specify that, so it's very funny
Yeah.
that it's just like
Oh,
sure.
if you piss me off that bad, I'm doing your full name,
Oh, yeah.
your email address.
You better hope your address isn't in my
Your social security number's just going in there.
You're getting doxxed.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to do it for this week. Thank you for joining this episode. How do we end these usually? We have episodes on the Horizon channel, which you're probably watching this on now, or you're watching on our main channel.
Which you're the
You're a
cool.
G.
Yes, the ones on our channel come out early at noon, and then
Yes.
the ones on the Horizon come out at 5.
See, correct,
Yes.
but we're just now getting into the swing of this thing, so we may.
Okay, so
Stay tuned.
that's a normal schedule in real time. Believe it or not, we don't film these every week. So
Also, quick note, and if you haven't checked out the YouTube channel, you can see our channel trailer that has our first sketch on it and the blooper reels from that day for a little bit more behind the scenes of it.
yeah, we're gonna throw some more cool content up there, more sketches, more bloopers, and maybe we'll do exclusive episodes in the future.
That could be pretty good.
It'd be awesome.
But who knows?
Uncensored versions.
There you go.
Ooh.
Yeah, guys, we're gonna get real ornery. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna say frick.
I'm going to
We should try that. We should get a dog collar, like a shock collar, and like no swear challenge. Anyway,
Oh, he would
Fire
lose.
truck.
we're out of here. Thanks for joining. See you next week.
Stay off Reddit.
Stay off Reddit.